What's up, everybody? It's PB Arcadia. Today we got big emulation news. If you are a Steam Deck user, we have a brand new update for EmuDeck, and you're not going to want to miss this. In today's video, we're going to go through all of the patch notes for the EmuDeck update titled Citric Acid. Turns out I was right, we are getting a brand new emulator, and a little bit of a surprise emulator, which it threw me off guard, so stick around, hit the like button if you appreciate what I do. I appreciate you guys watching, so let's get over to the web view. Alright guys, today the update for EmuDeck just came out, and we are checking out the patch notes right here, right now on PB Arcadia. I am getting this info from SteamDeckHQ.com. Very good site, has all the Steam Deck news that you could think of. So thank you to SteamDeckHQ.com for providing this article. So, September 26, 2024, that is currently the video recording of today, we get EmuDeck gets a new UI and Citra returns. A new update released today. Now, I was actually kind of floored when I heard Citra returns. I didn't think that would happen, but it's happening, and we're going to find out how it's happening, because if you remember, Citra got shut down along with the Switch emulator Yuzu earlier this year. So, what happened? We're going to find out. So, we're going to take a look at this article here. It says, earlier today, a new update for EmuDeck dropped, bringing in a fantastic slate of new improvements, a brand new UI, and the return of the 3DS emulator Citra, all of which are going to be great to enhance your emulation experience on the Steam Deck. And we have a screenshot showing the new UI right here. So this is, it doesn't look too different to me, but I do see a little bit of a difference. It might be a little bit easier to understand if you're just installing EmuDeck for the first time. But if you've been using EmuDeck for a while now, you already know the ropes. So this is what it looks like here. And the article goes on to say, the biggest two changes are the new unified UI and Citra returning. The new interface makes it significantly easier to find and see everything, and it looks much cleaner overall. We also have the return of Citra via Pablo MK7's fork, and this one's big. I knew this was coming, guys. The Lime 3DS emulator, which is another fork of Citra. On top of that, we also have partial multi-language support, a button to remove SRM entries in managing emulators. You can now auto set up emulators based on your Steam Deck's device language, and EmuDeck's plugin can now update emulators from game mode. However, you do need to install the plugin via EmuDeck and not the Decky Loader store for this feature. Okay, so that seems to be the overview here. We have another screenshot showing the installation option for Pablo MK7 Citra. So we lost Citra, and it hasn't been updated since it got shut down. Now, that's unfortunate, but whenever an emulator gets shut down or taken down for one reason or another, you know that people are going to take it upon themselves to take that open source code and develop their own version of the emulator. So what happened with Yuzu was, mainly the reason why Yuzu and Citra got shut down was because the maintainers, I believe, had a Patreon page which they were collecting profit. If you supported Citra and Yuzu through Patreon, they would send you beta builds of their emulators, which would generally run newer games better, and you'd get them before anybody else. Now, for instance, when Tears of the Kingdom came out, this was a big thing. Yuzu had a beta build that they were releasing for, you know, the anticipation of the new Zelda game. So a lot of people paid money to the maintainers through Patreon to get the game early, which Nintendo did not like, obviously. So a few months later, Nintendo got them shut down for that. Now, emulators are perfectly legal, guys. The only thing that they did wrong there was take profit from Nintendo, so that's not good. That obviously will get you shut down and your project scrapped. But we got Pablo MK7 here, who is probably just one dude maintaining the open source code for Citra and making updates to it. So that's just mainly the difference here. It's not actually the old maintainers of Citra that are getting their emulator back on EmuDeck. This is just a fork, if you will, of the old emulator that somebody's just altering code. Now, we also have, let's see here. You can download the new update by launching EmuDeck in desktop mode, or if you haven't done so yet, you can follow our guide on how to install it. So, if you already have it installed, just launch EmuDeck how you normally would. Whenever EmuDeck is installed, there's generally a desktop icon, so just click that. You know, if you're not familiar, but I really think you are generally familiar on how to just update it, because it'll ask you whenever you open it if you need an update. So we have more of the patch notes here. I kind of went over everything. And that's pretty much the article. So let's just talk a little bit about each new item here. So I already mentioned the new unified UI. It doesn't look too different to me, at least in the screenshot. But they, did mention in here in this article that it was easier to navigate. So that's good for newcomers. That's no brainer. The better off the UI is, people are gonna be able to just use your program easier. So this one right here, button to remove SRM entries in manage emulators. So I'm actually going to find this out. Let's launch the Steam Deck ourselves here and get the update and figure out what this means, because I would like to know. So we are in desktop mode here. We have EmuDeck updated, and we are in manage emulators. We just want to go over this real quick. If you want to install Citra, it is available. We just installed it. Just click on the icon. The same thing goes for Lime 3DS. If you would choose to use Lime 3DS over Citra, you could use that as well. And we have our manager emulators. Now, initially I came over here to check out where this managing your SRM entries through this menu here is. I don't know what they're talking about in these patch notes. I don't see any button in manage emulators here that relates to editing anything in SRM. So I'm not too sure what's going on. But either way, we have two brand new emulators. Well, not brand new, Citra's been around, but you can use it again. It is available, and it's ready for use, as well as Lime 3DS. Now, I'm going to use Lime 3DS simply because I like limes over lemons. So unfortunately, yeah, about this button to remove SRM entries and manage emulators, I can't find it. Maybe the developer will clarify where it might be. But other than that, I mean, it doesn't seem too important, because even if you want to remove these emulators from SRM, all you have to do is uncheck them from the sidebar. And I really recommend switching over to the classic theme for Steam ROM Manager. The current one, the default one, is I don't really like it at all. There's no configuration options. There's nothing like that. So it's up to you. If the default option works for you, that's fine. But I always just go for the classic theme, because you have control over everything. So next up, we have partial multi-language support, and that's just good. It's just multi-language support. So that's a good thing. And it seems like the auto setup emulators on your device's language, that will be a thing. I just assume that whatever your Steam Deck language is set to, then your emulators will also try and use the language that it's set to. Now, Lime 3DS, Citra, we just went through that on the desktop, so it's your choice. They're pretty much probably very similar in performance and updates, so definitely check those out if you're a fan of 3DS games, and you know, I know a lot of you are. So EmuDecky, that's a plugin. If you have the Decky loader installed, then you can install EmuDecky as a plugin and update your emulators from game mode. I won't show you how to do that on this video, maybe another one. So that's all I have for you today regarding the EmuDeck update for the Steam Deck. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you going to be using Citra or Lime 3DS? Leave a like if you like the video, leave a dislike if you dislike the video, and I'll see you next time.